On the run from their enemy, the planet-destroying Gorg, the Boov, the best species ever at running away, find Earth a suitable place to call home. Led by Captain Smeek, they commence their friendly invasion of the planet, relocating the humans, whom the Boov deem as simple and backwards, to other parts of the planet, by reversing the gravity of the planet temporarily and sucking people out of their homes with huge vacuums, while the Boov inhabit their homes in a quick and bloodless conquest. One of the Boov, named O, is a more excited, free-thinking member of the species who decides to invite the Boov to his apartment for a housewarming party, despite the race's antipathy towards him. The Boovs have a peculiar habit of changing colors as per their moods. Not far from O is a preteen human girl named Tip, who drives away through her home city to find her mother Lucy, after being separated from her during the invasion, leaving her with only her calico cat, Pig, and fueling her hatred for the Boov. O runs into the street to meet up with a Boov cop named Kyle, who, like the rest of the Boov, refuse to befriend him. O invites him to the party and decides to send a mass invite to every Boov on Earth. However, the send-all button he pressed actually sends the invite to every alien race in the entire galaxy, including the Gorg. Everyone, aggravated with O for revealing their location to the enemy, starts chasing him down. The E-invite will reach the Gorg in 40 hours. O runs into a convenience store to hide just as Tip and Pig enter the same store to grab supplies. They come across each other. Tip is angry with O for stealing her planet and stealing her mom, but has no choice but to work with O as he can fix her car. And after Tip's car fails to start, O transforms it into a fantastical hovering craft that literally runs on slushies and names it Slushius. O hitches a ride with Tip when he promises to help her find Lucy, but unfortunately, they must go to the Boov command center in Paris and locate her from there. Smek, meanwhile, tries to log into O's account and cancel the E-invite, since all passwords are password. But O had a unique password, and that stymies Smeek's plans. O tells Tip about how the Gorg invited Smeek for a peace meeting, but Smeek got scared and ran away with the Shusher, an artifact that Smeek now has lodged in his royal stick. Kyle catches up with Tip and O, but Tip manages to evade Kyle and is furious to learn that O wanted to ditch her and leave for Antarctica, the only place on the planet with no Boovs. On the way, O realizes that Tip misses her mom, and that in Boov world, there are no mothers. Tip disguises O with makeup once they get into Paris. After reaching the Boov command center, which is in the now floating Eiffel Tower, O manages to get into his account and deletes the message just seconds before it reaches the Gorg. He then plugs in Tip's brain to help her find Lucy. They eventually trace her location to Australia, where she is also looking for her daughter. The other Boov then find the two and try to erase O, while Tip grabs the gravity manipulation system and flips it over, causing the whole tower to tilt upside down. As O and Tip head off to Australia, they see other Boov riding by them in fear and realize that a Gorg ship is close behind them. Tip and O manage to knock it down, but in the process, a chunk of it hits them, and they lose their slushy fuel. They come across the fallen Gorg ship and find out that it is actually a drone. O recovers a special chip and uses it to get their car up and running. Tip and O make it to Australia and see the Boov evacuating to their mothership. O fears that the Gorg will attack Earth if they fail to locate the Boov. When they land the car, O tries to convince Tip to flee with him and the other Boov, but she refuses, determined to find Lucy. O evacuates to the ship. The Gorg mothership comes close to the Boov ship, but O pulls out the Gorg chip and uses it to fly the ship further away from the Gorg. The Boov become astonished at O's plan. Smek becomes upset and reminds everyone that he is the captain. Kyle grabs Smek's shusher, a scepter with a rock on top of it, and gives it to O, declaring him the new captain. Tip rushes aimlessly around the city to find Lucy, but no one can help her. O returns to her side and helps her track down Lucy. The mother and daughter finally reunite and thank O. The Gorg mothership descends upon the planet, and O realizes that they want the rock on the Shusher, since Smeek had previously stolen it from them. O runs to the ship to try and get its attention, locking Tip and Lucy in the car for safety. Tip breaks out of the car and shines a light in the Gorg commander's face to bring his attention to O as he holds the rock up. The Gorg commander halts the ship as it crunches down on the ground, with O in its path. Tip rushes to rescue him, but O gets seemingly crushed beneath the machine. It backs up, and O is revealed to be unharmed. The Gorg commander emerges from his armor to show that he is actually a harmless starfish-like creature. O returns the rock to him, which turns out to contain millions of developing Gorg larvae. The next generation of Gorg, revealing that this Gorg is the last of his kind. He thanks O and eventually departs. 2 weeks later, the humans have returned to their original homes, and O finally gets to have his party at his apartment, with humans and Boov in attendance. Tip plays her music and gets the rest of the Boov to experience dancing for the first time, while other Boov, including a reformed Smek, party on the moon, and thousands of ships from other planets, including the Gorg, head to Earth for O's party upon receiving his invite. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment. See you on the next recap.